right, guys, you're going to have to bear with me just a second. We've got a bunch of Nissan news coming across the wire, and it's not good stuff. So if you'll just bear with me for a second, we will try to get this out to as many as we can. And if I can ever figure out how to share this thing again. There we are. Let's copy that link. Like I said, just bear with me real quick because this is breaking news, and I wanna treat it as fair as I can. And of course, I won't have all the details of what exactly is going on at the moment, but it's some dire times for Nissan from what I'm reading. So we will get into it in just a second. I was just reading an article that came out through sharing. All right, we're good. Sugar sharing. Once again, if you're with me, I apologize for the rough intro here, but once again, I want to treat this as fair as possible. If you guys say hello, whoever's here, I appreciate it, and we'll try to get to this news the best we can. So I'm gonna have to go to a couple things because I wasn't really prepared for this. I want to thank my buddy Tim over at Pickup Trucks and SUV Talks for sharing some things with me, but also I was actually, when he shared this with me, I was reading an article that had just popped up on autonews.com. And so we'll get to this one first because it's the one I'm somewhat familiar with at the moment. All right, so autonews.com is reporting Nissan offers employees buyouts to cut U.S. field and to cut field offices. So Nissan has 8 field offices, their sales offices for each region, where they get vehicles, where they basically all the dealers, they're kind of their regional offices and stuff. And so 2 of those are going away, effective pretty quick. Now, once again, I'm just skimming through a lot of this news. So if you want to track along, go to Automotive News, and it's just posted maybe 30 minutes ago. So it says, Nissan will reduce its U.S. workforce and further cut expenses as the automaker, get my country accent out there, as the automaker grapples with a sales and financial crisis in its biggest market. Nissan North America says late Tuesday it will voluntarily offer buyouts to Nissan and Infiniti hourly and salary employees 52 years or older in the U.S. Nissan will also shrink its regional sales operations to reflect the declining sales and market share. So what does that mean? Well, 2019 has been horrible for Nissan. And it's if you watched any of my videos in the past, it all goes back to Carlos Ghosn. The guy pushed and pushed and pushed. We got to have volume. And this is what happens. You're going to pay for that volume now because you cut costs, you cut corners, and you've made some bad vehicles from the mid 2000s on, and you forced them to use CVT technology to cheapen out everything, and it's just all coming to a head. Now, the real problem is, as I know here in Middle Tennessee, we're very dependent on Nissan. The economy around here is super dependent on Nissan. So the plant, I know firsthand, the plant has really slowed down a lot. Like a lot of the lines, right, especially before Christmas, a lot of the lines were just running at half speed. They weren't, they were cutting hours a lot. Employees didn't exactly know how long they were going to get to work. And I won't say it's no fault to new management, but new management is picking up. I want to say they just picked up end of 1st of December, something like that. So they're trying to get their hands around all this mess, and it's not just a U.S. mess; it's a global mess right now. So let's go on to this article just a little bit. And once again, this is yes, they are still cutting hours, still running very slow. Let's see. I know they did this in 2008 or 9, and I was affiliated with it. And they were looking for the same kind of buyouts when the economy took a hit, and they actually got more buyouts than they expected. So they had to retool and get a lot of younger employees. But let's see. Nissan spokesman Chris Keefe declined to say how many employees the company expects to accept the voluntary separation program. He's also declined to say whether layoffs will take place if there are enough volunteers. You know, if there's not enough volunteers, they'll just start pulling numbers basically. Nissan North America U.S. sales tumbled 9.9% to 1.35 million vehicles last year in its overall market. That fell 1.2%. The U.S. automakers' market share, meanwhile, dropped 7.9% last year from 8.6% the year prior. And that's all from Automotive News. Let me skim this real quick. Let's see. Some of this is a result of calculated effort to wean the brand off its fleet sales. And once again, that was part of Carlos Ghosn's issues. We got to have them. We got to fleet sale like crazy. We just got to, Nissan's going to be the biggest. We got to have the market share. We got to have the market share. And once again, they're paying the price for this. Also, if you guys would share this live feed, I'd appreciate it a lot, man. It does help the channel quite a bit for people maybe that haven't reached the, our journalistic views of Nissan. So let's see. This is the second round of recent voluntary buyouts in Nissan North America. Last year, the company offered buyouts to hundreds of salaried employees in the U.S. and additionally announced plans for 700 job cuts in the plant in Canton, Mississippi. But the number of layoffs dropped to 380 due to attrition and voluntary separation programs. So places like Canton, especially, you've got the Titan that's not selling well at the moment. Let's fix this. Pardon me. Normally the studio's over here and it's all torn apart right now. But Canton's going to get hit especially hard with this because they've got Titan sales who have the second generation have just never really taken off. So you've got the new refresh coming out. You're starting to see some advertisements on Nissan's YouTube channel about this stuff, and I believe you're going to see something in the Super Bowl. I don't know that to be for a fact, but it makes sense with it's this coming week, and then you've got the Chicago Auto Show. So they're going to get in full. They've got to get in front of people and say, "Here's some new products." But Canton builds the trucks right now. Frontier was, if I remember right, was down. They shut it down in December with anticipations of new things coming. I knew they were going to build a 2020 still in the current design with a refresh, things I can't talk about, but Canton gets a lot of overflow of Altima. Of course, they're building the Murano and they build the NV vans. None of those things, the overflow of Altima they get is usually rental fleet Altimas that they're getting. So it's not, it's not have to build there, especially if the plant here in Smyrna is running slow. So I feel for the people in Canton right now. It's not good. Let's see what else. Let's see. Nissan late last year said it would cut employee travel budgets by 50%. Now, those, that don't know, they do travel quite a bit, and it's pretty common within the industry that you have a lot of travel. So that's pretty scary for people that maybe work for Nissan that depend on some of that travel. They also they basically shut down everything in the U.S. for 2 days early in January. Of course, that's been reported on, and at the time, it's just a course correction. They're trying to fix that. But let's see. Reuters reported on Tuesday that the parent company, Nissan Motor Company, is set to eliminate at least 4,300 white-collar jobs, shut down 2 manufacturing sites as part of their broader plan to add. They need to get their profits back up to 480 billion yen, or about 4.4 billion, to its bottom line by 2023. Now, the news came out where Carlos Ghosn ran his mouth and said, by 2024, Nissan's going to be bankrupt. Well, the guy's not doing the company any favors right now. When you go and run, he's in it for the publicity for himself. He's trying to draw attention away from all the wrongdoings that he's done within the company, and how he's not just damaged one company. He's also, Renault's hurting quite a bit right now too. So part of what I think could happen right now is Renault's going to have to cut some ties with Nissan. They're going to have to, they have a 40% ownership of Nissan right now. They're going to have to pull back right now because Renault needs the money just like Nissan does. They both need cash. Nissan has 15% of non-votable shares. they're going to have to pull that back as well a little bit. And like I've told everybody for a while now, there's going to be a collapse within the auto industry, and I hope this isn't the spark of what could happen complete across the industry. But let's see what else we got here. And bear with me, guys. I'm skimming through some of this as fast as I can because I wanted to get this out to you guys as fast as I can. And once again, I want to say thank you to my buddy Tim over at Pickup Trucks and SUV Talk. If you haven't subscribed to him yet, go over to his YouTube channel and do so. Tim does all kinds of cool truck stuff, and I will see Tim in Chicago next week. So this is from Reuters, and obviously, you know, Reuters isn't a fake news website. These are credible sources. So exclusive, do or die, Nissan takes the axe to the house that Ghosn built. And that's exactly what they're having to do right now, guys. Ghosn set them up perfect for this implosion. Like everything about it. I think if he was running the company today, it would still be this. Maybe not to the exact magnitude, because he brought in 2019, he just brought so much bad press to this company. But I think either way, this was coming under his leadership. So let's see. Yokohama, Japan. Nissan is planning an aggressive cost cuts to deal with an unexpected slump in sales as a strategy it inherited from its fugitive former chairman, Carlos Ghosn, Flounders. This is like 4 sources that these people have talked to. Once again, I apologize for not being like just like on it here, but I'm reading some of this. I've scanned through both of these articles that I wanted to go through, but some of it will just be let's see. So I already hit on that by 2020. Let's see. The move comes on top of a turnaround plan unveiled in July. Now, in July, they didn't have the new CEO they had now. So once again, you had new leadership last year, or kind of patchwork leadership. And now we've got new leadership they've had a few weeks to see the mess that they've inherited, and they're going to fix this. But move unveiled in July and is likely to include cutting Nissan's range of cars, an array of product options, trims in each line, slashing jobs, mostly at head offices in the United States, Europe, and reducing advertising and marketing budgets. Now, that's scary. Most of you know, especially in the truck world, they don't advertise as is. Like, you're taking this back to maybe Mitsubishi levels of no advertising, or God, I wouldn't even know. It'd be almost like, are we talking Renault? Like here in the States, like, they don't sell anything, so why would they advertise here? Are we talking that Nissan is not going to advertise at all? Now, obviously, advertising is expensive, but you've got new product. Like, they have an 80% of their product here in the United States is about to be refreshed. So these are people smarter than us, but this is kind of a scary. Let's see. The situation is dire. It's do or die, a person close to Nissan's senior management and the company's board told Reuters. Most of the planned cuts and measures to enhance efficiency were presented to Nissan's board in November and received its general blessings from 2 sources. A Nissan spokesperson declined to comment on the new restructuring measures or the views that the weaker than expected sales were the catalyst, geez, if I can speak right, for the global overhaul. Now, once again, in my opinion, this is all due to the Carlos Ghosn issues. Like, the dude set them up for this. Like, you cannot cheapen out every part of these cars. And I'm still a Nissan fanboy, and I love the products, but there are certain times you can see some vice versa. Look, in the United States, why did we get a Kicks? Because the development cost was already done. They didn't know whether the Juke was going to come back here to the States. So let's just take a car that was designed for the Brazilian market. Let's just put it in the United States. They've done a lot. If you look at the brand, like, there's a lot of things they've done recently where it was just like they're trying to force something to fit in a market that maybe it doesn't exactly fit. Now, in the Kicks case, it's actually sold fairly well. It's not been a major hit for Nissan, but it's actually selling pretty well. And I think it's actually doing better than the Juke was in its final couple of years, which was to be expected because the Juke is, was on its last legs. Let me look at a couple comments real quick, just see what everybody's saying. Once again, I appreciate everybody jumping in on this. What's up, Dawn? Everybody? Still cutting hours, still running slow. Nissan, your stocks have been taking a hit lately. Well, if you're a risk taker right now, would be a great time to buy into the company while it's low. Let's see. Frontier 2020 Pro 4X is sweet. Yes, it is. All right. Let's see. Unlimited JC. Hi. The Nissan Titan is very beautiful. Yes, I agree. I love that vehicle. Anyway, so let's get back to this. Under Carlos Ghosn, Nissan embarked on a global expansion, boosting capacity to add new models, driving, and more directly, they're dumping into more markets like India, Russia, South Africa, East Asia. I know Nissan spent a ton of money to get into China, and a lot of these things, I know, I think they're actually having a very hard time in India all of a sudden. I thought I read a report about that the other day. Let's see what else is on here. Some executives are worried Nissan, let's start this over. Some executives are worried Nissan, part of an alliance with Renault, Mitsubishi, could post another loss in its car making business in the last quarter of 2019. I think that's probably going to happen, and possibly for all of its operations in the year ending in March. So that's when their corporate year begins. Let's see. Sorry, I was reading over here. Let's see. Reuters spoke to 9 people familiar within the Nissan plans, and they all declined to be named due to sensitivity of the subject. Yeah, I would think so. Missed targets. In July, Nissan said it would cut 12,500 jobs from 14 sites around the world, from the United Kingdom, Spain, Mexico, Japan, India, and Indonesia, and reduce its model range by 10%. I haven't seen the model range here in the States yet, but you can look at some vehicles like Maxima. It needs a new generation, but right now, does it make sense for them to spend money on Maxima? I've heard rumors that it was going EV, but if you're nearing bankruptcy, why are you spending, it doesn't make sense why you would spend on that car. And I could see Maxima being shuttered for a bit, maybe not permanently, but for a bit. Now Nissan is considering shuttering 2 plants permanently, this is big news, on top of its reductions at the 14 other sites. Close to Nissan's management board, with knowledge of the matters, told Reuters. They did not say which 2 new sites were at risk. I think the United States sites would be okay for right now. I know, with Britain going away, they're going away from the European Union and all that. I know the plant they had there that was building, I think it was Jukes. I think that's what they were building there. I know that one was at risk anyway, so it would make sense if that happened. People familiar with the plan said that the axe was also likely to fall at Nissan's North American headquarters in Tennessee and its European headquarters in Geneva, as they were bloated with high spending sales and marketing staff. Now, I can't believe Nissan's marketing staff is too bloated, because we don't see many ads. We don't see much advertising from them that way. Once again, if you guys would like this, I would appreciate it greatly, because it does help get us in the algorithm within YouTube itself. Let's see. One source with direct knowledge of the turnaround plan said Nissan's marketing teams globally gobble up nearly 1 trillion yen a year, or about 45% of Nissan's annual fixed cost at 2.1 trillion. Now, marketing is just not TV ads, so I can't say that. So I would like to see I'd like to see the plan on that, even though I'm just a layman that probably wouldn't understand it. But I don't know. That's a lot of money that we don't see any of that, seems like, in the United States. See, Nissan has been saddled with excesses thanks to Ghosn's highly aggressive expansionist volume goals, which we failed to achieve, the source said. A spokesman for Ghosn said he declined comment for this story. Well, of course he's going to decline it because he's already started this BS. He came out, what was it, last week and said, oh, yeah, 2023, 2024, oh, Nissan's bankrupt. And, of course, bankrupt doesn't mean they shut down, but it does mean that they're going to have to restructure this. And does this also mean that Nissan needs to sell off, the Mitsubishi partnership was just where they own a good chunk of that was just really kicking in. Does that mean they need to separate themselves from that? Also, does this mean Nissan is ripe for a bigger takeover by somebody else? Once again, Renault is hurting. I'm sure Renault would like to unload a big chunk of that right now, even though they're very connected with a lot of product development. But yes, better products. Let's see what else we got. Well, a little bit more on this. Nissan is they need to achieve operating margins of 6% on revenue of 14 trillion yen by March 2023, compared to the 13 million trend forecasted at the end of March 2020, according to plans. Nissan's always has been like they run on even dealers. Like dealers are some of the least profitable dealerships globally. Let's see. Sorry, once again, I'm scanning through this, just trying to find something quickly that may catch my eye. And this for my U.S. audience will make sense. Particular concern is the U.S. market, where sales fell 10% in 2019. Once again, I'm pretty sure that's due to, for one, they do need to refresh their models a little bit, and two, Carlos Ghosn has not helped things at all. Let's see. NPC patch designs drop Renault and partner with Toyota. Toyota's pretty partnered up, man. Toyota's they've got a little bit of everybody. Subaru. I don't know that Toyota would, in their direct competition. I just don't know that would happen. Nissan needs to the FCA would have been perfect for Nissan. Now without Renault, and I know Renault was the big fish for FCA to want to partner with because they had such a big stake in Nissan. And at the time, I was thinking they want to pillage basically Nissan's tech because Renault or FCA didn't really have much EV tech. Let's see. One especially troubling issue for Nissan has been sales efficiency. In 2018, it had 69 models that sold 5.2 million vehicles, or 75,000 on average per model line. And it was planning to expand its lineup to 73 by the end of 2022. Now, I'm going to guess one of those would have been a body-on-frame SUV that may not be around or coming to fruition now. Let's see. It's aiming to cut its range down to 62 models. Now, some of those, I think that's okay for the United States market, but I think India and some of these other markets is where you would trim the fat there. Could boost sales to 8, and they want about 87,000 per model, the equivalent of Toyota's average last year, according to calculations. We thought we would by now be selling 6 million cars a year, but the truth of the matter is our selling ability is about just north of 5 million. So that's quite a big difference. Worried about more cuts. They're calling it phase 2 cuts. We'll end this up with this. Nissan's new CEO, USADA, I used to know how to pronounce this. I learned it a couple weeks ago. Now I can't say it. USADA took the reins at the start of December, who worked at Mitsubishi, Renault, and Nissan as chief operating officer. Whoever the action was aimed for, the upshot is that the anti-alliance forces. That's going to be a big thing. I think you're going to see Nissan really that right now trying to rip away from Renault like badly. See it. Kuchapa is now now completely freed from pressures of those anti-alliance forces to carry out the all planned turnaround measures. One of the people said he should do so without hesitation. The board has cleared the way. So kind of, I don't want to be out here forever for you guys because I do appreciate everybody that's been a part of this. Let me see what see Ty says Nissan needs to start making decisions to sell name vehicles in both Canada and the States. Use the same engine, the Altima, both Canada and the States. Save huge there. Yeah, I know. Like the Altima it's a little different, but it's not all that different in what I understand about it. Let's see. 2.5 inline is fun, but the 2.8 makes more sense. Use it in the 2021 and also be a killer. And make the all-wheel drive. Why they never offered that in the turbo? That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it's still basically a front-wheel drive with the rear helping a little bit. But yeah, let's make cars that people want to drive that feel sporty. Savage Geese just did a thing on Altima. I watched one on Altima and Sentra, and dude, they love the new Altima except for the CVT. Like, and that's a common issue within Nissan, and we can beat that dead horse to death. But like, they talk about the comfort and the value of the vehicle and everything you're getting, and the infotainment screens and everything, like how it compares to everybody else, and it's comparable or if not better, except for the drivability, the fun factor of driving the vehicle. So. Yeah, that I think that turbo, it makes so much sense, and why I don't know what the reason is why that. I don't know if they're just worried about the variable compression stuff, and I don't know. And what's funny is with this Mitsubishi, they have a company that knows all-wheel drive vehicles. Now, when that car was developed, like they didn't even have a piece of Mitsubishi yet, but you could sure quickly get into that. Guys, let me know what you think. Once again, I appreciate everybody jumping in on this. I know it's breaking news. I wanted to keep this to about 30 minutes. If you guys have any comments or questions real quick, this is all new to me. So once again, I'm just breaking with this. And once again, I appreciate my buddy Tim with Pickup Trucks, Talks, and SUVs for sending half of this information over. It was I do appreciate that. Let's see, anything coming? Guys, and I appreciate everybody subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. We've really starting to pick up a lot of subscribers. I know we're just over 1,000, but it's starting to move a little quicker than it did. So I do appreciate that. These little likes help the channel a lot. We are funded now, so that does move us up. Anytime you share any of our content, it just helps maybe people that don't know about us yet find us. And I guess this is going to be it for right now. What's up, CK? Thank you on the 1,000. You privately messaged me quite a bit on that, and I do appreciate the thoughts about what you had to say on that. So Chicago, I'm just going to end with that real quick. I'll be in Chicago next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So there was supposed to be a Nissan dinner that night, the Friday that I was told I was invited to. I'll be there first thing Thursday. I don't expect a ton from Chicago. I'll be honest, the writing was on the wall that the Frontier was going to be there, and then they a couple weeks ago pulled that plug. What I'm hearing, rumors that I'm hearing. So I don't expect anything about the 2021 Frontier there, but I know they will show I've been told they'll show the 2020 Frontier, which is the same body style, but some new goodies under that truck. So that'll be exciting. Titan, I believe 2020 Titan will be there. I think they have a little concept-y vehicle they're going to show, but nothing fun. Anyways, so thank you for joining the live chat here. I plan on doing some of this stuff in Chicago, so bear with me. YouTube with their app is being kind of funny with the phone, so that would be my easiest way of trying to do some live streaming there. But if not, I will definitely Thursday night. I will get on and you'll see a video pop up Thursday night next week of what I'm seeing at Chicago Auto Show, and maybe something Friday morning. So anyways, I appreciate will there be a Groot suit? No, Groot actually is on a different adventure. He's about to cover something else for the channel. It's got a bunch of new stuff coming up, guys. So please, once again, like and share everything, and thank you for subscribing. So from all things Nissan here in my torn apart office to wherever you're watching me on YouTube, it's been your Nissan Nation podcast update, and I'm your host, David Boyd. And fingers crossed, guys. Let's hope this plan works for Nissan. I know there's a lot of people in my community that really need some. They need Nissan to kick back in. So, peace. Thank you guys so much.